Okay. Okay, hello everybody. Happy to have you here. And we are going to be talking a little bit about team connection. It's so important that we really foster those relationships with our team members, not just when they first join, but throughout the whole process. I mean, we want to offer more than your Walmart shelf of um, you know, customer care that you don't really get when you buy something at Walmart. You just have it on the shelf and nobody comes and tells you how to take it or how to, what happens if you feel this way and you're going to get your money back. I don't know. So we want to offer something better. We want to coach everybody through the process. And okay, just a second here. For some reason, it's showing like Morgan's talking, but I'm actually talking. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but
I think it's just because I was the last person to talk to you. That's what it is.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we want to really just connect over time. So on the other training that we did, I talked about the customer care system, which I do with my team, and sometimes your upline will be doing it for you through their VAs. But where you have the first month and you're giving them a message almost like every other day or so, and it's all about getting them started and consistency and showing them all the different things. So that lasts for the first 30 days. But after that, we don't just want to go, okay, you're good, see ya. We want to make sure that they are connected. So for my team, I have a team chat, and that includes everyone. Everybody who joins my team, I put in our team chat. And that is, I put announcements in there. I put little encouraging notes in there. I'm in there usually a couple times a week, and sometimes more depending on what's going on with the team or what's going on with Plexus. Like, hey, there's a new product coming, or like this week is convention. Put registration for convention in there. Hey, don't forget to register, that kind of thing. So that team chat includes everybody. And then I have another chat for some of my business builders, people that are wanting to run the business a little bit, who want some more specified training. I put them in that chat. And also, I always do a three-way chat with somebody when they join. As soon as they join, I put them in a three-way chat with me and my sponsor and probably the person above her, just to add layers of support and community. It's super important that they feel like they're part of the community. So I start those three-way chats, and that's a great place where we connect and we, tell them, hey, ask us questions in here. We do video chats in there, that kind of thing. So we have the three-way chat, and then we have our team chat. And also in the team chat, sometimes I will run a contest, like maybe a water drinking contest, or a contest for everybody that's got a 100 PV order put in for the month. Whoever gets it in by the 15th gets put in a drawing for a water bottle. These last couple of weeks, actually, I'm doing a contest that if they invite people to, we're having an in-person event this week. And if they've invited people to the event, they get their name in a drawing for, I have a lean shaker bottle. So just a little something to kind of get them excited, get them encouraged. Events themselves can also help create that team culture, help people get excited about getting together. Now that things are opening back up, there's more opportunities for in-person events, which I'm super excited about, doing one for my team tomorrow. But we can't always do that because sometimes our team is spread out across the country. Thank goodness for Zoom. Thank goodness for online events. So those are just great ways to connect there. Something that I'm going to start doing, I just talked about this with another team member the other day, is on another training I did, I showed you how to print off your team from your back office, where you can see like who has ordered, who has a subscription going through this month, so you can contact them and you can see how they're doing. And what I'm going to do when I print that list out is I'm going to start going through this list, maybe even starting at the bottom at the beginning of the month, and try to contact each person on my level 1 at least once a month after that initial time. Or if they have questions at any time, obviously you connect with them, but just to make sure you touch base. I actually went through yesterday and messaged about 10 people. And just some of them, I said, hey, how are you doing? I sent them a little graphic about having a blessed Tuesday, that kind of thing. Let me know how I can be of service to you. How's your summer going? Maybe you noticed something on their Facebook page. Oh my goodness, you went to the beach. How fun is that? And it doesn't even have to be about plexus. Just letting them know that you care and you are there to serve them. And I've even gone back and messaged people that haven't even ordered in a really long time. And just touching base, even just saying hello, sending encouraged scripture, or how could I pray for you? Whatever seems to be your way of connecting. That's something I'm going to do more intentionally. I've kind of randomly done it, but I'm thinking that having this list and going through and making sure that I contact each person once a month. And if you've got a lot on your team, that's going to take some time, but it really doesn't take a lot of time. You can either pick one day a week where you message 10 or 15 people, or maybe you do a couple a day, write it in your planner, whatever works, whatever way works. Just make sure that you're intentional about connecting. I have a couple of ladies on my team that aren't on Facebook very much. I call them, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to? That kind of thing. And they'll call me if they need to order something, because I take care of their orders and stuff. But it's just another way to stay connected, because we are in the business of serving others. We are in the business of connecting and relationship. This whole business is about relationship building. And I thought that I was pretty good at that. And then I got into this business and I realized that I definitely had a lot to learn. So this has been a really good learning experience for relationships. So just make sure you're intentional. And maybe even sometimes I have written handwritten notes. Now that takes more time, and you've got to get a little, you can buy a pack of note cards for like $3 at Walmart and sending them in the mail, because who gets snail mail these days besides maybe some bills? So that's another way to connect, and a good old fashioned handwritten note. Then another way to connect is team Zooms. Whether you do that once a week, once a month, once every other week, a time that you can be consistent and just meet with people. Encourage your whole team to come on and maybe have a couple of people share. A few weeks back, I had one of my people share her testimony of how the products have helped her. And it was really good because my new girl was on. And so she got to hear that, like how, oh, this is how it's helping her, sharing their results, sharing their progress, that kind of thing. I haven't done this yet, but I've heard a lot of people do, and I've been involved in one before, is a book study with your team where you go through a book that's a personal growth book or something like that can be helpful. We've done Get Out of Your Head. We've done Chase the Lion. Some kind of book where you meet once a week and you discuss a couple of chapters, and it's really good. In fact, I think I'm going to do one this fall, because it's just a really great way to connect with people, and just, something, it's not just plexus, it's like life. These are books that can be helpful in life. And it's a great way to really just connect, encourage one another, help hold each other accountable, that kind of thing. And just pouring some value into your team chats. And you may even have a team page. I don't have a team page yet, but obviously if you have a team page, you're going to do a lot. You want to be consistent with pouring value into that page. You want to do things like recognizing people who have reached ranks, or recognizing people who have, done the work. Recognize their actions, not necessarily if they have made a goal, but that they're working toward it. Hey, so-and-so reached out to 10 people. I shouted somebody out in my team chat and said, hey, Kim invited 4 people to our sip and see on Thursday. Yay for her. Because I think we don't realize as we get older, when we're young, we get a lot of praise. We get a lot of encouragement, like, oh, good job, buddy, you learned how to tie your shoe, or oh my goodness, you can wipe your own butt. So it's really good when you're grateful for somebody and you recognize that. That is so important. It helps people feel like they're valued, that they're seen, that they're heard for, just being there and doing the things. Oh, Sue has drank all her water this week. Like she has kept up with her water drinking every day. She's drank half of her weight in ounces. That's awesome. And I try to really just do that a lot, shout people out, because that helps really boost their confidence and that kind of thing. And let me see, I think that's kind of mostly what I had. Morgan, if you have some things to add, I would love to hear from you. So take it away.
Thank you, Leah. That was awesome. I love a few things I love everything Leah said, but there was a couple things that really stood out. Leah is really focusing here on taking care of your team. And she mentioned team functions like team events, like team chat, having that team chat on Messenger. When the day comes, when you feel that the timing is right, you could have a team page on Facebook. I think that's usually recommended when you're a higher rank, because you could kind of just bring your people into your uplines team page. But if it's on your heart to do one, then do one. Something else she talked about was the recognition. She just touched on that just now. Guys, recognition goes a long way. And I love that not only did she recognize someone's great achievements, but even just the efforts. All my life, I've been told in the workforce when I was out working a regular job, that I was a good employee, but I was never employee of the month. And I had a lot of, I used to work in HR, and a lot of people would come up to me and be like, "You're amazing." They would tell me all these things. I'm like, in my head, I was grateful for the compliment, and maybe my mindset wasn't in the right place, but I was like, yeah, but I'm still not employee of the month, maybe I'm not that great, And so I used to think, man, I worked for the city. And so a lot of the employees of the month were people like police or firemen that were saving lives. I'm like, I'm never going to save a life here in HR, so I guess I'm never going to be employee of the month. And it used to just, make me feel a little down. Like, there's no comparing to somebody just saving a life, and so I was like, I wish they would just recognize you for showing up and just doing your work, and but here we have that opportunity, because we can't always, I was just telling my team this the other day, we can't always control who's going to sign up and how many people we're going to sign in a month. I'm having a great month this month, but last month was terrible, as far as how many people I personally signed. It's not always in our control, but what is in our control is showing up and doing the work. And so when we, as a leader, and if you have somebody on your team, you're a leader, we can recognize the efforts that they're putting in. So I loved that Leah brought that up. Recognition truly goes a long way. Something our team says a lot, and this is slightly a rabbit trail, but I'm going to go there because that's where we're going. Alita, our diamond upline, says often, what you focus on expands. And I literally did not know what that truly meant. I knew what they were saying, what you focus on is what you're going to see more of, but it just didn't sink in until a few weeks ago when we were at a retreat. And Alita said, when you're pregnant, you start to see a lot of pregnant people around you. And I was like, that is so true, because every time I'm pregnant, I see all the pregnant people. My husband and I just recently got a vehicle, and I've never heard of a Buick Enclave, but that's what we got. And the other day when I was at the store, I was parked. I almost went to the wrong vehicle because it was also a Buick Enclave, and it was very similar to ours. It was just slightly different color. And I was like, why does our car look golden? I thought it was silver. I was like, wow, this sunset really is changing the color of our car. And then I was like, wait, that's not my car. And not only was there one other Buick Enclave in the parking lot, there were two other Buick Enclaves right next to my car. And I was like, what? I've never even heard of this vehicle before until we got it. So what you focus on does expand. What's great is when you focus on recognizing your team, a team member, they suddenly are focused on wow, I feel great because I just got recognized. And then it's almost like what's that, like a snowball effect, where you focus on something good that happens, and then it just keeps happening, and good just expands. And that's what that expression means. What you focus on expands. So not that we should ever find our validation in recognition, which is something I tend to like. I've used to have that poor mindset, like I must not be doing a good job if I'm not getting recognized. That's what I used to think, but that's just not true. And so we can't control our team members like thoughts and whether or not they're seeking their identity or to be validated in that recognition. That's unhealthy. And the only thing we can do is just try to coach them into a healthier mindset. But as leaders, we should still recognize people because it's worth it, and it will kind of spur them on to keep doing good. And then it will spur the others on to want to do better, so it's just kind of the way our brains are. I'm a competitive person. So when I see someone doing really well, I'm like, I want to do well too, and so it makes me push harder. What kind of a leader are we if we just encourage our people to stay where they are? Not very good. I know someone who is like not even on our team, and she has an upline member that kind of sabotages her success, and I'm like, this is terrible. I'm so sorry that you deal with this, because like no leader should ever encourage their team. Okay, that's fine, just stay where you are, you don't have to try. Like that's not a good leader. So just spur them on with recognition and encouragement. Keep encouraging the good, keep nudging them to step out of their comfort zone. It's going to be good. So thank you, Leah, for sharing that. But let me real quick, I know we're limited on how long the recording is, so I'm going to keep going. Since she touched on some team efforts of some things as a team that you could do, I also had a couple of other thoughts. This is stuff that I've done before, and it seems to be effective. It helps build community in your team. Is in that team chat, try to send either a monthly update or a quarterly update on how your family's doing. Like I kind of like a newsletter, but I don't take the time to like type out this whole thing. I just I'll make one picture and say, like March at the time was our best month, and so I was like, we just had the best month ever. This is how many people joined our team. This is what's up. This is what God is doing in our family. Like send an update to your team, because they are on your team because they want to support you. And so let them know how you and your family are doing. Another thing that I've done is a Christmas party. That was so much fun. I was super scared. And we had a Christmas party. It might have been a dud, I don't know, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone as a leader. I had gifts. My friends were watching the kids, and the kids were like crawling in the room. They're like pulling children out. It was hilarious. We had a makeshift was it a Zoom party? Yes, Leah, it was a Zoom party. So we had a Zoom party. I had like makeshift Christmas lights propped up behind me. It was awesome. It was really actually weird too. I don't know, but it was what we did. And so and people actually showed up for it. So I think, what I want is to provide a good community for my team. We have a great community on our upline. Like Lisa's team is awesome. You guys are on an amazing plexus team. And so we just want to keep, passing that down to our people. I remember a few months ago, I was afraid of the day that I would maybe have to like branch off and become my own diamond team, and Lisa was like, well, you don't have to like branch off completely. Like we're always going to be a team. But I was like, thank you. Cause I don't want to like kick you out of our team or anything, but as we all grow, eventually our downline becomes so big that, they'll be looking at you as their diamond upline. And so, you don't have to be afraid of that, because you can start now building that team community. I was like so afraid of the day that I was going to have to lead my own team. Well, it turns out I have an amazing team, and we already have a great community. Like we get together every week and we're talking, and it's like, I sit there every week and I'm like, how are these people on my team? They're on the call right now. I'm like, how are they even like on my team right now? What is happening? And they're the best. Like, so, and if you don't have that yet, it's okay. Just create the atmosphere. Obviously, if nobody's coming to your Zoom call and you're like, I'm creating the atmosphere, nobody's here, like that. I know that happens. We all are in that place at some point in our business. So I don't mean like you have to show up at the Zoom and nobody be there. But just keep, stepping out of faith, keep trying, because the Lord will honor your efforts and he will bring the right people. So those are a few things for the team, team Zoom parties, get-togethers. Leah said, in-person events. She threw out some ideas. In case you need ideas for your happy wholesalers, I jotted some down yesterday and today, and I'm going to read them off to you right now. So get a pen and paper ready. I'll go through this quickly, but still slow enough that you can write. These are going to be ideas for what you can do with your current team, people that have been on your team for months. They're like we have this awesome customer care system that we're all starting to implement for the first 30 days, but it's like, well, what happens after the 30 days? I'm actually going to work on that because I like having like a spreadsheet to work from or some kind of a system to work from. And like Leah said, we've kind of been a little bit more sporadic, but we're about to become strategic. So, be led of the Lord. If you have a creative idea for your team and nobody else is doing it, don't wait on your upline to validate your idea. Pick it up and run with it, because that is something that the Lord has given you. He's given you a brain. You know how to use it. So just step into that with confidence and do it. So, but these are the ideas that come to mind. These are some things that I have done and some things that I want to do for your happy wholesalers. Okay. Every month, you can encourage them without sounding salesy that, and this may not be every single person. So, I would recommend you try this with every person, but kind of, you're going to have to think about each person and each individual circumstance, but you can encourage them to add a friend. Say, you do want an accountability partner to do this with. If they already have one, then say, you already have one person on your team. Did you know that if you had 2 more people, you're going to get a bonus? Look at your team and see who is 2 people away from going silver. And you don't have to tell them they're about to go silver. You can just tell them they're about to get a really special bonus. And it's something that, why wouldn't you want to get that bonus? And instead of because a lot of them are going to be like, why would I want to do that? And you can say, why wouldn't you want to do that? So ask them to add people. Secondly, remind them that if they've signed up recently in like the last year or so, they have samples in their Engage app for free that they can send to people. We need to be reminding them this, because I've got a lot of people that have not utilized that. And I'm like, I need to step on my game here, step it up, and tell them about these Engage samples, which will help them add people. All right, ask them for a Facebook shout out. If they haven't done one in a while for you, just go ahead and ask your current happy wholesalers, hey, you've been on the products for months now. Obviously, you're loving them if you've been on them this long. Would you mind giving me a shout out for my business? Maybe they don't want to do it for themselves, but they wouldn't mind doing it for you. I've had people do that for me. Another thing is, and this goes hand in hand, remind them of the perks that they have. Look on your perks report, see if they have any perks built up, and then say, hey, Sally, you have like 1,000 perks built up. Let's get it redeemed. Let me help you. Let's set up a call and I'll talk you through it. And not only tapping into the perks, but encourage them to try a new product. Hey, you're loving your products. Have you thought about trying this product? Not to change it up, but let's add it too. Like a lot of people now start on like a healthy weight basics combo instead of the triplex, but eventually we want everybody on the triplex. So if they're 2 to 3 months in their journey and they're having good results, you can say, I love that you're losing weight. Let's get your gut healthy, because this is going to help you sleep better and continue to keep that weight off. So let's get you on the triplex now. Let's add in most combos, they're already doing the pink drink. So it's not like they have to buy 2 entire combos. It's that they're just upgrading their combo to add in 2 more products, which is the ProBio 5 and the BioCleanse. So don't feel like you have to shift the entire combo they're on. We're just encouraging them to add in ProBio 5 and BioCleanse. Do a check-in call. I'm terrified of talking to people on the phone. As much as I love to talk, Leah's nodding her head. She agrees with me. It's vulnerable. And I'm not quick at thinking on my feet. So I'm like, well, what if they say something that is like a weird opposition and I have to figure out how to oppose that? It's like, I don't know what I'm going to say. Well, let's face our fear and let's pick up the phone, because in-person connection or voice-to-voice connection goes so much further than just reading text. Besides, when you read a text, I mean, literally, you can add tone to almost any message, and they may not be saying anything with a tone like that tone of voice. How many times do we let our insecurities rule us? And they're like, hey, would you like a sample? And they're like, no, thank you. And maybe they're saying it with the nicest voice ever, but you're hearing, no, thank you. Like, why, how dare you ask me if I want a sample? It's like we put attitude or a mood behind a text that's not even there. So picking up the phone or sending a voice message helps you hear like the tone of their voice and helps them to hear the tone of your voice. Because maybe you're afraid, like, man, I don't want them to think I'm being salesy. Well, sometimes your tone of voice can help them not think that, so just do a check-in call. Here's another idea. This is something I really, really try to do. I'll come back to that actually. Ask them for a wellness event. If they haven't done one, or even if they have, they might be willing to do another one for you. So like ask them if you can host a wellness event in their name, so that they can invite their people. Again, these are happy wholesalers. They're not really interested in the business, but if they are willing to do a wellness event with you, you can sign these people under them, help them go silver. They get money from it. You get more business. The thing about that is you will probably be treating those people as your own level ones. So maybe you don't want to go that route. Maybe you'll just take the referral and go ahead and sign them under yourself as a level one. Lee on our team, he's offered to his happy wholesalers, hey, if you allow me to I see we've got 10 minutes left. I just saw that notification. Lee has talked to his team and said, hey, if you help me sign somebody up, I will give you the building bonus, like the business building bonus. So that's like a $20 bonus. So he'll sign them under himself, but he'll give them that dollar, bonus that they're getting. So that's also a nice compromise in the middle, so that you're not creating a bunch of level twos that you have to treat like level ones. So, that's something you're going to have to decide for yourself what you're comfortable with. Helping your level one go silver and then treating all their team as your own level ones, or go ahead, take the blessing, sign them as your own level ones, and maybe consider giving that bonus to the person who brought those referrals in. So, think about how you want to run your business. That's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong here. It's just what you feel like is right for your team. Another thing I've heard a lot of people do, and I'm actually really interested in doing this myself, is with your team members, send them a sample of a product that they haven't tried. You can do that for your current team. Now, I've got a bigger team. I don't remember how many level ones I have right now, but I know I have a team of over 100 people. So it could be costly to send every single person on my team a sample, or I could just do it with my level ones and twos, or just level ones and then ask your level ones to do the same. Like you guys can as a team decide what you want to represent as a team. But anyway, those were just a few ideas for what you can kind of ask of your happy wholesalers. Now, something I want to kind of jump into, I was originally going to start with this, but I guess I'm going to finish with it. I like to, like Leah said, check in with my team members once a month. It doesn't always happen. I'm amazed at how fast a month goes by, and I'm like, wow, I ended up not messaging that person last month. But I try my best to contact them every month. What helps me to stay organized is I do print off a report of my team. I've got 3 pages here. And it's like when you're looking at your team members in Plexus in the ranks and points area, there's an option to export as a PDF or Excel file. And so then there's going to be a bunch of columns that you may not need. So I just delete out a lot of the columns that I don't want. Usually I just need to see their name and who their sponsor is. but sometimes you might see when their last order was, or, you can kind of tweak that report to the information you want to see. But I print off their names and then I put a check mark next to their name when I've checked in with them at least once that month. And sometimes we are doing a special and I will like write little initials like the weight loss challenge. I wrote WC next to a lot of the names of the people that I invited to the weight loss challenge, because you can invite them to team events that you're doing, especially if they haven't ordered in a while. Maybe this will be the jolt that they need to get back in and take the products again. So hosting the challenge, I guess, is another way to get your team members active again. We only have a couple minutes left. So let me dive into just a little bit here. Taking it away from the business and more to the relationship side. Not only checking in on your people, let's not only check on them on plexus. They were your friend before they were ever a team member. So have you still continued your friendship with them? Maybe you weren't that close. Maybe you never knew them. Well, get to know them, because I'm telling you, it goes a long way when you can ask your team member, hey, how's your dad? Or one of our team members, one of my team members' dad just got diagnosed with cancer. So I'm not going to come in there and be like, hey, I see you didn't order this month. Can you order? Because that's not really a good friend. So sometimes you have to put your agenda aside to just be available to bless them. Because we say we have this opportunity to bless people, but are we living up to that standard? We're not here on this Level Up accountability group to just tell you this is the thing you need to check off. This is the thing you need to check off here and there and there. We're here to level up. We want to step up our customer care. And part of that is by taking care of your team. That's a huge part, because you can sign up all the people in the world, but if you don't know how to retain them, then what's the point? And so improving your retention is great. And the way to do that is be there in a relationship with these people. Something I wrote down, something I really wanted to make key when I came back to work in this business last year, is I wanted to treat my team better than my potentials. Like, I want my team members, when they sign up, to feel like they just got entered into Morgan's elite group of friends. I want them to feel so valued that they don't want to walk away from the community because they love the friendships that they've developed. Now, have I succeeded at that? I don't know. I'm still trying, but that's something I desire for my team. Is I want them to have my very best. Sometimes we get so focused on building relationships with potentials that we just kind of, once we sign them up, it's like we're putting them on this little belt that's just taking them on in the factory of plexus. Good luck with your journey. I hope it's a good one, and we never talk to them again. At least that's what I used to do, because I was too afraid to hear the truth. Like, what if they don't like the products? But guys, we have to put our fears aside, because we have this opportunity truly to bless these people on our team. They said yes for a reason. Let's keep them for a reason. And that's because we're a good leader and a good friend. I'm going to close with this. And Leah, if you have anything you want to add, you can jump in, but I know we're limited on time. So I'm going to just say, treat them like they're your kids. When you have multiple children, it's not like you love one more than the other. Now, some days you might like one more than the other, but to me, my plexus team, maybe because I'm a young mom of babies, I'm like, they're like children, they're not children, but love them equally. It's like, meet them where they are. My one son is super active and my other son's super chill. And it's like, I'm not going to try to make them the other person. I'm just going to meet them where they are and love them right the way they are. So certain team members you will click with more than others. Certain ones are going to enjoy talking with more than others. That's okay. They're their own person and you're your own person. You might even have a personality conflict, or you're in different seasons of life. That's okay. But I want to challenge you to really look at their situation. Think of them as an individual, not just as another number on your list, but as an individual person, a real person that signed up on your team. It requires more thought. It requires having to slow down and not just get through the checklist of things you have to do on your IPA sheet, but it's worth it, because they're going to feel valued because you saw them right where they are. Okay. So just remember that. In the end, I want to run my team in a way that like I want to think about, what do I want them to say about me on my diamond documentary? What are they going to say about me on my diamond documentary? And what are they going to say about my actions on how I treated them before they signed up and after they signed up? Are they being treated, just as kindly and as sweetly and nicely as they were before they were even on my team? Or did I just butter them up? And then once they signed up, I let them go. Because I don't want to do that. So that's what I was thinking. Those were my thoughts. I think about my diamond documentary. I watch diamond documentaries, and people have like the best compliments. Like these diamonds, their people are saying amazing things about them as a leader. And I want that to be said about me. So I want to make sure that I'm living in such a way that is even worthy of that compliment. So I hope that makes sense. Just I don't really know how to close, actually. Alita used to say she's so awkward at closing, and now I think I understand why. It's like, I don't really know how to end that. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to turn back to Leah, and she can close us out.
Yeah, that was wonderful, Morgan. I loved everything you had to say. And yeah, that's, relationships. Let's make people feel the value that we know that we see in them. So thank you so much. We'll see you later.